Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Friday, August the 24th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. This is the email address you can use if you have any questions for me. This is a link to get into our free room. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our trading room. I open the room right around 9 o'clock Eastern Time every day. That's when I start to share my screen. I get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and 3 o'clock on Fridays. I have been knocking off a little bit earlier, Monday to Thursday around 3:15. It's getting really very quiet as we wind down the last couple of weeks of August. Probably get back into the normal swing though in September. Anyway, interesting day today again with the marijuana stocks flying. Cron, this is now, first of all, not all marijuana stocks are flying. So if you're an American, you should really, or trading in the U.S., you should be looking for the Canadian stocks that trade in Canada, but also have a dual listing. All right, I wouldn't just trade the pure American stocks because it's the Canadian stocks that are flying. Again, we're having legalization in our country October the 17th. So of course, that's why there's a lot of interest. So pick a stock that has a dual listing, trades on Toronto and of course in the U.S. So Cron is one of them. Now, I have to admit, I mean, I talked about this all day. This was the pre-market action in Cron, and I didn't really in the room indicate that I was in this one. I actually traded this right in this area. Okay, I'm looking at maybe taking this one as a swing. I have to figure out. I have to somehow take advantage of one of these stocks. I missed the boat. Well, I didn't miss the boat. I got, to be honest, very stupid on this one with the Tilray, because if you were in the room, you know that I took this one. Let's see, it was right there. I took this one on that day right there, and I wanted to swing it. Now, this was the one that Citron came in, who is the notorious short seller. Well, let's back this up because you don't know the whole story of this. CGC. So, what happened on this day is that Constellation Brands, STZ, basically said, you know what? Yeah, Constellation Brands, by the way, is the distributor of Corona beers and others. So they said, you know what? Yeah, we're a beer company. We'll call ourselves a beer company, but we have to get into this cannabis market somehow. So they basically put I think it's either $4 or $5 billion investment into this company. So that is what caused this to jump, and all of a sudden, I mean, it just put a tremendous pressure to find other stocks like this. And now it pulled back the next day, but look what it's done since then. I mean, so this stock was $32, now it's 45. So on that day, and by the way, that was a recent IPO. Let me just back this up. It's an IPO on this day right there. Okay, so this was a recent IPO, and really hadn't done very much. I mean, you'd think, this is not good. I mean, it IPO'd, I guess, probably around right there, 34, we'll call it. I think the IPO price it started out as a premium. In other words, the first print was at a big premium to the actual IPO price. But the bottom line is that after that, it basically just kind of said, I guess it's not that exciting. And then all of a sudden, again, I mean, here's the other thing. I know I'm kind of jumping around here, but the interesting thing to me always is that in this day and age where everybody knows everything, so look at the 2 days previous. You never ever would have had a clue that Constellation was going to make that announcement that they were putting that amount of money into this company. Never, because look at the 2 days previous. It was basically, I mean, that was now basically an all-time low for the stock, right? I know it doesn't have a lot of history, but still, you would have thought that maybe there'd be a bit of a leak and start to move ahead of like the day before, but not only was it just flat, it was dropping. So I digress. TLRY then, same thing. It's IPO'd here. Kind of did the same thing as Canopy. Not quite as dramatic in terms of moving down, but on that day, right there on that day, Citron again, who is typically there. If you don't know them, just Google Citron, Citron, as in the fruit. notorious short seller, as we call them. So they specialize in knocking the heck out of companies. They do big exposés and they say this company should never be trading at this level, and here's why. And they usually lay out and they're not always right. Don't get me wrong, they're not always right. But anyway, they usually lay out a very detailed and involved discussion about why they think the stock should go down. Anyway, they then came out after that news with Canopy CGC during the day, they came out and said, you know what? We like this one. We're ready to hop aboard the cannabis train, and we like this one. So I actually had bought this one right around that 27, and then the news came out, and so I was, obviously pretty darn happy. But I was looking to swing this one. I truly was looking to swing this one. But unfortunately, the next day it dropped down. It did this, and it kind of shook me out. I said, because I don't have the mindset of a swing trader. It's really that simple. I mean, if you have the mindset of a swing trader, that really shouldn't have bothered you. But I went, maybe I better get out. And also the CGC was also falling. So I thought, maybe that's just going to be a one-day wonder. Maybe I should wait. Well, look what it did. So I mean, my goodness, this got up to 43.75. Remember now, I had this at 27.75. I'm not saying I would have held on through that. Probably would have sold some, but anyway. So that's a long-winded explanation about why I'm really looking at maybe this one. Again, Canadian stock. I think they had some news. I think the rumor is that I think a big UK, United Kingdom beverage company is maybe taking. I don't know if they specifically said these guys, but that's kind of a rumor that maybe this UK company is looking at them. But we'll see. We'll see. I like to see it take out 10. I say I've traded this already, and I'm not in it anymore. But anyway, that's my take on the cannabis industry right now. Now, I did take a couple. I'm only going to look at one. The rest of the day was kind of, because I was so involved in this one, was a little bit boring for me. But the cron trade certainly made my day. Let me show you C's though. This was a Holly alert at 27.27. Now, again, if you're in the room, I have a bit of a dilemma here because I've decided I'm not going to say, okay, this is a Holly alert and I'm in this one right now, because again, it's not fair to people who have our premium service, who pay an additional fee in order for the privilege of having the Holly alerts. So all I'm doing now is I might say something like, okay guys, I'm looking at C's, and hey, if you have Holly, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but but nobody else will see the price. I'm not gonna say I got in it until maybe a bit later. They only did that twice today. Now, if I get in something and I lose money, I'll certainly tell you. I mean, there's no question about that. But got into this one at 27.38, popped all the way up to 27.84, and I basically sold it as it was coming down. And I did the same sort of thing with ELF. Not quite as good. There was the alert at 12.57. It popped up to 12.80. But why would I single those two out anyway? Because we get a few Holly alerts. Look at the daily. I love that daily. I mean, you have to, when you see a void like this on the left, looking left, you think, okay, it's got some room. The same thing with the C's. Look at the daily. I mean, I don't know where the resistance is. I guess if I expanded the chart a little bit more, I'd see it. But this is a 2-year high. I'm not too concerned about where the resistance is anymore. I love the daily. Now, unfortunately, this was another fantastic alert from Holly. When I say unfortunately, no, not this one. ADAP, sorry, ADAP. Fantastic alert from Holly. Let's get to a 15-minute chart here. There was the alert at 967 on that candle, and it hit a high. Look at this. Now, these are only 15-minute candles, so that's a very quick trade all the way up to 1050. Actually hit the target. Unfortunately, I missed it because, as you know, you can only have one Holly open at a time. And I think, unfortunately, I took at that time to switch to another Holly. And by the time I saw this was already up there. And yes, in retrospect, I could have bought it at 990. And had I known it was going to go to 1051, fine. But you just don't know that. So this was another excellent alert from Holly. I'm really getting definitely warming up to the idea. I mean, hey, listen, there could come a time especially with the three hollies. And as we start to fine tune it more and more, I mean, it's possible I could get to a point where that's all I'm going to trade, just the holly alerts all day long. Then I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the room because I don't want to, necessarily. I'm not going to say live when I'm in because again, it's not fair for those who have our premium service. If I just basically call them out, then anybody who has our standard service, they'd say, well, why should I get the premium? Or anybody who doesn't have our subscription at all might say, why should I get the premium? Why should I have a subscription at all? Anyway, that's a bit of a dilemma I have, but I guess it's a good dilemma. It's like having two starting goalies in hockey or two starting QBs in football. I'll deal with it if that's what happens down the road. All right, that's about it. I want to get back into the room, so let me just bring back my capture program. There you are. So if you have any questions for me, you can use this email address. And again, this is a link for the free trading room. I will open the room, and also, sorry, this is a link for a subscription. There's a promo code there for 15% off, either on the first month of a standard or premium subscription or the first year of a standard or premium subscription. And you'll see the promo code, Barry for Alpha, all in capital letters, and then the number 4. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll open the room at 9 o'clock Monday morning. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.